Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all our respected parents, educators, and dear participants for joining us today. Thank you for taking out your valuable time to be a part of this wonderful session on emotional connection and quality time. In this today's fast-paced world, we often give our children everything except for one thing they really crave for, which is our undivided presence. Today's session is about understanding that connection beyond routine conversation, beyond academics, beyond responsibilities. We are honored to have with us someone who hardly needs an introduction, Dr. Ali Khwaja, the founder and chairman of Banjara Academy. He shares a long and valued association with Asha Kiran. He has conducted several insightful training sessions touching the lives of many individuals. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Ali Khwaja. Sir, we are really grateful for your presence. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Nisha, and good evening to all of you. Yes, it is always a pleasure to be associated with Asha Kiran, seeing the wonderful work that you all have been doing. And I have observed your commitment, dedication, and progress from the time when the school started in that house in Indiranagar, you know, and those children used to be running all over the place. And from there, how it has evolved and grown. I truly admire that. And also, I think the parents have been equally involved in the whole process of development of the school. And that is what has made it what it is today and what it continues. So I'm very happy with this topic of today. That is this thing called the quality time and the emotional connect. I'll just give you an example. There was this father who came back home, very tired from work and wanted to relax. But his little son came up to him and started saying, Daddy, what happened today? That particular teacher, she said this and I said that and something, something, something. The father was almost sort of drooping and sitting quietly. And he was sort of saying, okay, okay, and all that. Suddenly the child stopped and said, Daddy, you're not listening to me. Father said, Yes, I am listening to you. You were telling me about such and such teacher, and this I've listened to everything that you said. No, Daddy, but you could have turned around, made eye contact with me, and nodded your head when I was saying this. You see the difference? That we presume as adults that when we are doing whatever has to be done and all that, we are taking care of it. But the world of children is different, no? If it was somebody in the office who was telling you some, issue related to work, and whether you are making eye contact, whether you're nodding or whether you're smiling, as long as you are implementing whatever the person is doing, the person would have been happy. But here, the child is not looking at you for solving problems. So many times, when children communicate, they are not looking for solving problems. There was a very nice anecdote that I had read. There was this father who used to, at bedtime, take his daughter to her bed, sit down, put her head on his lap, and read out a fairy tale, a bedtime story. And by the time he finished, she would go off to sleep. One day he read one particular story, Cinderella or whatever, and she enjoyed it and she went off to sleep. Next day, she said, Daddy, read the same story today also. Oh, you want to hear the same story? Okay. Same Cinderella, he read it. Again, there was a smile on the child's face and she went to sleep. Third day, she said, I want the same story. Daddy said, there are such nice stories. So many good stories are there. You listen to that also. No, Daddy, I want to listen to only that story. Okay. Third day, fourth day, fifth day. Now, Daddy was a very successful executive who knew a lot about problem solving. So he said, if she wants to listen to the same thing, why do I bother there going and sitting and all that? He recorded that story in his own voice. And he put the child on the bed and said, I'm putting the switch on. And you will hear the same story in my voice. She said, no. Why? What difference does it make? Anyway, you close your eyes and anyway you go to sleep. No. Yes, daddy, but I can't put my head into the lap of your phone. I can put my head only on your lap. Small things, but if we sit down to think about it, this is the world of children. Any child, personally speaking, when we talk about emotions, we talk about so many things. I don't differentiate. People label, no, this child has got learning disability, this child is neurodiverse, this child is that. Yes, that has to be looked into from the academic point of view. But the world of a child is much more than academics. We have to look at the child's holistic growth, development, fulfillment, satisfaction. And that is what is going to create a much more better child. Even if a child is one who is, let's say, intellectually disabled, or a child who comes under the spectrum of autism or whatever it is, those are certain limitations. But if the same child learns basic life skills, the child learns what we call as emotional intelligence, which any child can learn, then the child is going to move forward and do things, with, even taking into account the limitation that the child may have in academic areas or any other even physical areas or whatever it is. So let's start with a very simple understanding. There are two basic things which every growing child needs, regardless of the age, regardless of anything, abilities of the child and all that. Every child needs love and emotional security. Love, we all understand. We give it very spontaneously. Most of us adults even shower love on a strange child also. If you go to a park and you see a cute little child, you express your love to the child. You play with the child, you smile at the child, you appreciate something of the child, etc. So, love is something which we do give and which we do express. But here again, I'd like to say one small thing. Please remember, loving a child and love reaching the child are two different things. Because love is both a noun and a verb. There's a beauty of this English language which the Britishers have left behind for us. These complications don't happen in Indian languages. But in English, love, the noun, is the emotion. So I will swear and say, I love my child. But love is also a verb, action. So how am I showing my love? I come across so many children who very sadly say, my daddy loves me only if I get 90% marks. Now, do you think that is true? No. Daddy not only loves the child, but is willing to do anything the parent may be willing to give his life for the sake of the child. But what has happened? Love, the verb, the action of love has somehow not reached the child. So the words that I use when my child does very well, achieves something, and the words that I use when the child is not performing or not achieving, give a very clear indication to the child that my daddy loves me only if I perform or if I achieve or something. So that is one thing which I've always been saying. The world rewards achievements, results. As concerned adults, whether you are a parent, a teacher, a special educator, counselor, or just a concerned adult, what we need to do is to fill the gap by appreciating, acknowledging efforts. I mentioned this earlier, but I'm repeating again to see that this point drives home to all of us. A child is doing, what do you call it, long division. It's very difficult. The child is not math oriented. Child as it is has difficulty. And long division somehow seems to be even acrobatics of numbers which you are not able to master. Anyway, the child attempts. There are 5 steps to the answer. The child does 3 steps correctly. The fourth is wrong, and therefore the answer is wrong. The examiner says no marks. No examiner says he should be given 60% because 3 out of 5 steps he had done correctly. He only looks at the answer and says answer is wrong, so no marks. Now the child is told, do it again. Come on, practice. Child is sincere. Child wants to do. So he makes a second attempt. And this time he gets 4 steps correct out of 5. How many marks does he get? Again, 0. Now, if we can take up an attitude of telling the child, yes, the system is such that you will not get your marks unless the answer is correct. But I can see how much you have progressed. Within few minutes, you went from 3 out of 5 to 4 out of 5. That's a 20% progress. If you continue like this, you will be able to do it. This is what children need. So when I talk about love, see, the love has to reach the child when the child needs it most. When the child is not able to perform, everybody else is achieving something I am not able to achieve. So do I still get love of my important adults? Child's world is so small. See, you and I as adults, if a friend is nasty to us, we can reject that friend and move on to somebody else. If we are part of a group or association or club or whatever it is, and people are bad to us, we can move off. We can go and join some other group. If I'm living in a locality where the neighbors are not very nice, I can move to a new locality or city. But what does a child do? The child is stuck within that small numbers of what we call as the significant adults. So those significant adults, if they are nice, if they are appreciative, and they are giving that what we call as the unconditional love, that is, whether you do good deeds or not, even if you do something very bad, I'll get angry with you. I will scold you, but I will not love you any less because you have done that bad action. You know the old proverb which says, punish the act and not the child. Yes, there are occasions where you have to punish the child. Let's say the child is going near some electrical switches or something which can be very dangerous. You've told the child once, twice, the child still wants to go there. You may have to punish him by whatever way to drive the point home that you cannot go near those electrical wires. But at the end of it, the child is looking up to see, because I have done something wrong, have I gone down in your eyes? Do you consider me lesser than what you were considering me earlier? If that happens, the self-esteem of the child is gone. And if the self-esteem of the child goes down, whatever may be his capabilities of achieving, he will not even make efforts to achieve those. This is something which we always need to remember. So are we giving the child love, which is reaching the child, which is making the child feel that I get love from A, B, C, the important people. And this we have to keep telling everybody. If I am in a family where, let's say, my parents are there, my father may be elderly and he may be the type, who is an old timer. He believes, spare the rod and spoil the child or something like that. This is how I was brought up. This is how I brought up my children. So this is how my grandchild also should be brought up, whatever it is, without getting into arguments, without getting into conflict. We need to slowly convert them to help them understand how important they are to the child, how the child looks up at you and considers anything that you say as the gospel truth. So please understand that this child needs an expression of love. The other thing that the child needs, as I said, love and emotional security. Now, what do I mean by emotional security? See, we put in a lot of efforts to ensure that the child is getting physical security, financial security, health security. We'll take care of every smallest issue of the health of the child. Very often, when the child is very small, we start saving money that when my child grows up, he will need to have a corpus. So from now itself, I'll put aside some money. I will make sacrifices. I will not indulge in expenses so that I can save up for my child. I will build a good house so that my child is secure inside the house in a proper surrounding and environment and all that. So all these securities we give them. But the most important one is emotional security. Does the child feel emotionally secure? Which is again connected back in certain ways to the context of the love reaching the person or not reaching the uh, person. So we need to understand that are we reinforcing to the child that you live in a safe world, and that safe world again is within the limited world of the child. If a child goes out somewhere and happens to see some people fighting on the road, or the child comes to know about some war taking place in the Middle East or something, and so many thousands of people were killed and all that, that doesn't have much impact on the child because the child thinks that this happens somewhere else. All children grow up in believing that there are the good guys and the bad guys. The bad guys are out there. Within my home, within my school, within my world, there are only good guys. The uncle who drives the van and takes me to the school, the teacher who is there in the school, the non teaching staff to whom I ask for a glass of water. These are all the good guys. These are people who uphold certain principles. These are people who don't cheat or be unreasonable. That is what the child wants to believe. And that is what gives the child that emotional security. Even if some of his friends are bad to him, he will accept it. But he wants to know whether, because he thinks that the world is run by these people. My appa, ma, ajji, tata, the teacher, the van driver, these security man, that's it. This is my world. And is this world constituted of people who are the good guys and who will stand by me regardless of whatever happens? So, coming back to the main topic, there are people who often come to us and ask that, let's say a mother says that I am working. I go out of the house and I work the whole day and I come back. I'm feeling guilty. Am I neglecting my child by working? Should I quit my job and stay at home and be with my child full time because my child needs me? Our answer is simple no. Your child does not need quantity time. Your child needs quality time. Like I was giving the example, let's say mommy goes out to work. The child comes back from school and is waiting. The child reaches at a particular time, mommy comes only 2 hours later. Those 2 hours, he is waiting. When mommy comes, I will tell this. I will ask her for this. I will express this to her. I will share my emotions and my anger and my happiness and everything with her. Now, the question is when mommy walks in, what does she do? I even tell parents if you are in a stressful job and at the end of the day, you're almost like burnt out, you're just waiting to get back home and let down your hair, as they say. No? But if you have a child at home, don't do that because the child is waiting for you. The child is fresh and is thinking that I am going to begin my time with my parent and the parent's time is already ending. No. So, what do? I tell them, stop over at a coffee shop, leisurely have a cup of coffee, have a chat with a friend, or listen to music. Or if there's a park nearby, go there. Take a nice leisurely stroll around the park and then go home. Make sure that you are not carrying the tension, the stress into the first interaction with your child. This applies in the morning also. There are households where everybody has to rush in the morning. So all of them are falling over each other, getting ready. Tiffin has to be made, shirt has to be ironed, this has to be done, that has to be done. Now, in this whole jing bang, where does your child fit in? The child stops one of the elders and says, today I want one extra pencil to be sharpened. I can't find my sharpener. Do you have that patience to spend 2 minutes with the child? Either saying that, okay, I will sharpen the pencil, or saying, don't worry, I will inform the teacher if you don't have the sharpened pencil, you can do it in school. Whatever may be the answer to that. But by stopping for those 2 minutes and showing that significance, that importance to the issue of the child, remember that in a child's world, not having a sharpened pencil may be the equivalent of an adult's world where you are thinking, is BJP better than Congress or Congress better than JDS? What we give so much significance to, even though, as you know and I know, we can't do anything about it. We accept whichever government comes to us. Yet, don't we spend hours and hours and hours arguing, looking up, finding out this, doing that, reading up the media, all those things. Now, take the same thing down to the child. In the child's world, in case my pencil is not sharpened, and if the teacher asks me to write something and I cannot write, it is as important as a midterm election being announced in the assembly. So that is what we need to understand their world and to give significance to the emotions. That is what we call as emotional connect. Don't worry about whether the child is talking about the pencil or about the teacher scolding or about some friend, scolding him or being nasty to him and all that. The facts are not important. What is important is the emotion of the child. And what we need to ensure is that we have that emotional connect with the child. And there are benefits of that to us, the adults. Try it out, check it out, and see. Whenever you give significance to the emotions of a child, the child gives significance to your emotions. If I get angry, the child only becomes defensive. The child only looks for ways and means how to defend himself from the anger of this adult. But when the child got angry, or the child got disappointed, or the child was irritated, if you gave significance to the emotion of the child, I understand, I know Suraj should not have done that. And when he came and pushed you, I know you must have really felt bad about it. No? Now, how are you feeling now that you've come back home, or now that that thing is over, or whatever it is? Emotions at every point. Emotions when something untoward happens, and emotions later as to how you're feeling, including, I recommend, we don't even realize it. A child may come back. He may have been upset over something that happened in school, and it looks as though he has overcome it and he is playing, he is watching TV, he is having dinner, everything. But when he is going to sleep, the emotions come back again. So it is up to us to gently ask, you were very upset when you came back because that Suraj pushed you. Now, how do you feel about it? You will be amazed at the impact that it has. That my concerned adult, my significant adult, remembered and asked me, and the same child will get a good sleep. Same thing in the school if you're a teacher. What happened during the break, or what happened in the van, or wherever it is. Much later, if you can ask the same. When the child is leaving school, if you can ask the same. How do you feel about this? Is this now? These are some of the things that contribute towards this. And I would like Kanaka also to add on to that. Right.
So here is the recent example that we had in our school, where our 10th standard students are preparing for the test, and they're like every week they will have test. So they're like, okay, now we are not doing well. And when they go with lot of red marks at home, they get a lot to hear, and they come here and like okay, nothing is happening, nothing is happening, and with that the red marks are increasing, but nothing productive is happening. Now, okay, now we decided like what to do about this. They are not getting any emotional outlet to speak about, because when it is towards the exam, it's more to keep doing better and nothing beyond. But these kids are getting stressed out. So once last week when they came back, when we told is signature done? No, ma'am. Okay. Looks like you're very angry. Yes, ma'am. Okay, we told here, we will listen. You tell. Ma'am, after you give so many red marks at home, they will tell us that you don't come home next time if you have the red marks. Why are we sending to school? And they speak. So after a few minutes, then we tell, okay, how are you feeling now? Are you still angry? Yes, ma'am, little angry. Okay, maybe we have to maybe speak a little more about it. For some time, can we do an activity and then we will speak? Okay, ma'am. So it's for that time they're calm. At least they know that there is one space where we can speak about what are at home. There's so much that's going on. So after an activity, now we will ask them, okay, what happened? What was something that you got upset and so angry? Why do our parents always think about our marks? Why not this, everything? Yes. So what should we do? So then they have a lot of other things that goes on, but it's not like the conversation should be very effective or something, but it is more than to tell them that is a safe space to tell in everything. Okay, what can we do next? Ma'am, we will write the test. They themselves came up. Okay, when do you want to write the test? Ma'am, after 2 days, but we would only want to do so much so that we will feel we'll be prepared. That will agreed. Okay. So, and after a certain day, when they do it, they're like, no, ma'am, we only have taken responsibility. This is what we can do. And they get more clarity with what they want to do. And they will come and themselves before we doing, they'll tell, ma'am, this is what I did. This is what I couldn't do. I need help. Or they're like, ma'am, I'm confused now. I need more help. They become more clear with maybe the clarity is not to great extent, but at least they know that there is something that I can or I can't do or I need help. Or they would say that I'm confused now. So even that little verbalizing can help them like, okay, there is something that I can speak to somebody who will be there to listen me and help me out. And now, to my surprise today, they told, ma'am, one more month, no, ma'am, you will scold us, we will hear the scoldings, but we will do exams well. So that was quite surprising for me to hear today, and I actually felt very happy that how much they can understand me and how the situation is between us.
Mm. And at the same time, did you catch one statement which the child said the parent made? If you get red marks, don't come home. I am sure the parent didn't even realize the significance or the impact of such a small statement. This is what we do in our adult language. If I'm the boss in an office, I'll say, if you can't do this work, then get out, don't work over here, things like that. And the employee knows that he needs me and he's not going to throw me out. So he nods his head and he continues doing work. But that does not happen with the child. If the child is told that if you get red marks or whatever it is, don't come back home, the question is, where do I go? As I said, the employee will say, okay, I'll take up a job somewhere else. Can this child say, okay, I will resign as your child and I will go to that neighbor auntie who is so motherly and so loving, and I will ask her to adopt me and I will live with her?
Sir, you're freezed. We are not able to hear you.
It is connecting back. Just give us a minute.
Sure, sure.
Would you like to shift to this? Can I shift you?
Mhm.
In this, it's working.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just put on the light, I think. Okay, let's take one more step ahead. By the way, as I had told you in our earlier interactions also, please feel free to put up in the chat box any doubts, questions, comments that you have, so that I will know what you are thinking or what your doubts are. Don't wait till the end. Right now itself, any thought that comes to your mind, anything which you would like to clarify or comment upon, please go ahead and do it. So I come back to this thing called emotional communication. See, means of communication has significantly improved in the last 20 years. Technology and all this has done so well that today anybody can communicate with anybody in any part of the world instantly and without even spending money. So, when communication has become easier, emotional connect should also have become easier, right? No, it's the other way around. If there is delayed gratification, then only I have a value for something. If I have to wait and then get something, I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember that when your grandmother was in charge of the kitchen and you went and told her, I am hungry. She would say, what do you mean you're hungry? It will take me 1.5 hours before food is ready. At the most, I can give you one biscuit or something like that. And then you have to wait till something, this thing. And you accepted it. And you distracted yourself for that 1.5 hours. And when that food finally came in, it was so delicious because you had delayed gratification. You had to wait for it. Now, the same thing applies over here. Because we are in constant touch all the time, we do not value that communication. And the communication loses its touch as far as the emotion is concerned. So, number one, teach the child what we call as delayed gratification. Even if it is ready, when this delayed gratification started losing its touch, when the makers of Maggie came out with 2-minute noodles. You see in all those advertisements, no, the child comes running and says, "Ma, I'm hungry." And the mother says, 2 minutes. And here it is. The Maggie is available to you. From that time onwards, children have lost the value. Now, why should a child value the mother if the mother just needs 2 minutes to make some Maggie and give it off and my purpose is served? And the moment I eat that, I don't even want to talk to my mother. I'll run out and go and play or do whatever I want to do. But if there was delayed gratification, maybe the child would squat in the kitchen itself and start talking to the mother. Not only that, he would see the effort that the mother is making. She is preparing this, she's cutting some vegetable, she's boiling something, she's mixing something. So he knows the value when he sits down to eat food, he knows the value of that. The same thing applies to communicating through emotions. Unfortunately, in our standard education system, we do not teach emotions. Emotions is not a subject taught from LKG to 12th standard. Even though it is acknowledged as a fact that all our actions are based on our emotions. If I'm angry, I behave in a different way. If I'm sad, I behave in a different way. If I'm excited, I behave in a different way. If I'm feeling very positive, and optimistic, I behave in a different way. So, it is a fact that emotions control our actions. Now, unless we can identify our emotions and manage our emotions, we cannot manage our actions. How many adults spend a lot of time trying to control the action of a child? Let's say there's a child, who's, for whatever his reason, is misbehaving, is being destructive, is being angry, is throwing tantrums. What do? We immediately become policemen. We go by the symptoms. We have to control him. One interesting thing about tantrums I wanted to share with you. You all know it, but still I want to tell the significance of it. If a child is doing something which you feel should not be done, or the child is asking for something which you are clear, I don't want to give this is not in his interest. And if you say no, please stick to it. The child starts throwing tantrums. The parent, teacher, whoever tries to explain to him first. No, don't do that. This is not good for you. This is this. The child starts getting angrier. You also become a little firm. Then there's a battle. Who shouts loudest? Both are screaming at each other. And the parent realizes this fellow is not going to give up. So they say, stupid fellow, take it, go. That is such a fundamental mistake we make. Because the child has learned a lesson that if I am persistent, I eventually get my way. It is a ping pong battle going on. You throw the ball, I throw the ball. You throw the ball, I throw the ball. Finally, I throw the ball and gone. I've won the match. And you know what he learns? He learns to throw tantrums at the right time. If mummy is trying to be strict and saying, no, this is bad for you, this is not good, I will not give this to you. Okay. The next day, mummy's mother-in-law is coming. And in her presence, the child makes that demand of the mother. And as the mother is saying no, the granny is looking at her and saying, poor fellow is crying so much. Why are you being so strict with him? What's wrong with you? I brought up 4 children. You can't bring up 1 child? Finished. You have no choice but to exceed. Similarly, you take the child to the mall and he points out at some stupid toy which costs 5,000 rupees and you know will break in 5 days. You say no. And he starts throwing a tantrum. And you look around left, right, and so many people passing by are staring at your child and staring at you. And you get so embarrassed. Okay, stupid fellow, take that toy. Next time I'm not going to bring you to the mall, etc. These are the lessons which we inadvertently give to the child, which we are making a fundamental mistake. And if he is a small child, his demands may be so small that we don't give it significance. We say, okay, let it go. But don't forget that the child will grow up. His demands will start getting more and more unreasonable. What will you do then if this pattern has already been formed? So, as I always keep repeating, parenting is not a popularity contest. Parenting should be done for the good of the child and the family, full stop. Not for showing to anybody else. In fact, we can extend that to teaching also. If I'm a teacher, see, I'm not doing teaching to become the most popular teacher and to get awards. If I'm true to my vocation, I am into this teaching for the benefit of the child. If my teaching can genuinely help the child to grow in the right direction, I've achieved it. Whether my superiors are happy, whether the parents are happy, or whoever it is, I don't care. I'm answerable to my conscience. So this is how it goes. And along with that comes this point that am I teaching my child emotions? This is something very, very important. If the child comes to you saying that today Suraj pushed me as I was getting into the van, instead of trying to be a problem solver, because nothing happened, he didn't hurt himself or whatever it is, and whatever the situation was taken into account by whoever was adult was there, and then he got into the van and now he has come home. So you don't have to go back and solve his problem for him by complaining next time that don't allow Suraj to come near my child or something. It makes matters worse. Suraj is also a child. He has his own frustration. For whatever reason he did it, let's leave that. That's not in my control. But the moment my child comes and says, Suraj pushed me, do I go into the emotions instead of going into the problem solving? Oh, did you feel angry? Did you feel upset? Did you feel helpless? Because Suraj is much bigger than you. You can't push him. Did you feel embarrassed because the other children were laughing? Teach the child emotion words. And when you do that, your emotional communication builds up. And time and again, it has been proven that children who can communicate their emotions do not indulge in antisocial or asocial behavior. This is what you need to know. Isn't it, Kanika?
Yes, so I will tell you how this emotions help me. So whenever, before me and my husband used to fight, I don't like you, you are always shouting. Why are you like this? Okay. Off late when when I came to know about Banjara, learned language of Banjara and how Hali helped me to understand my emotions. I like, dear, I am so angry and upset about you that you spoke in such a high tone that made me feel like giving you back. Okay. When I started using my emotions, you are so annoying, irritating because you don't do this. My husband, of late he says, before women usually have clarity, but after you using emotions, you have got more clarity and you're giving me more clarity. I think that was something to actually think about. Like, I actually understand you better now. Yes, your face expressions when you're trying to do, I am trying to understand you, so I lose out on what you're saying. But when you are telling that what emotions you're going through, I understand at that point of time. Now I will think whether to react or just keep quiet. So I feel like he's more listening to me or more engaged with me. Yeah, this is one thing. So here I would want to do something a little engaging activity. Okay, so there are around 40 of you. At least in the chat box you can just type A and B. So I have something for quality time. Okay, I will put an option A and option B. So if you think it is option A, you have to just put A, or if it is B, just type B. So what is quality time for you? So the first question is, the child wants to, do play. So you are part of, being in this school. Okay, that the child will be the teacher, or you will be child, or the B option is you will set up a school environment for the child and allow the child to play. So what is quality time in this option A or option B? I would want, yes. So Jatin says yes, Nisha says yes. A, okay, yeah, okay. Wow,
A lot of ways.
lot of A's. Good. Okay, okay. So there is one more thing, one more question. Okay. Now, so there is family time. So here, family time. The option A is spending time watching a movie which everyone likes, or you're trying to create a new board game.
That is B.
That is B. So, which one is actually quality time?
People have switched over to B.
B. Okay, good. That's actually a good thing to see that, all of you are so attentive and, want to participate. That's the enthusiasm actually, has kids always give us, right? I have one more last one, okay? So, when in the morning, I know it's quite hectic for most of us, but still, okay, quality time is, you're making breakfast and telling the child, you just sit around, I'll make here and you eat and we will chat. Or while I'm preparing the breakfast, make sure you go, option B is, while I'm making the breakfast, you go pack up, get ready and come back. So, what is quality time? Is a mix of A and B?
Yeah.
Mix of, okay.
Good.
Actually,
Think. That's how it is. There are no right and wrong answers to human behavior.
A and B
A
both
and
are.
B. Yes. That's how it is.
It is.
That's exactly how it is in real life.
True, good. So everybody has their own approach. Maybe it is how better you can do about it. Yes. See, I know it is always, we are trying to understand the consequences and do it. That is how most of us plan our day and some at times. But as Ali said, sometimes the quality time or that attention of few seconds can matter a lot. And it consists of your body language, eye contact, and your words with the firmness you tell the child.
True.
Thank you.
True. The first one, the whole family is sitting and watching a program which everybody likes. I want to caution you that the greatest enemy of the younger generation is the screen. See, as adults, you and I spend a lot of time with our family, with our friends, with our students, whoever it is. And once in a while, if we need to have, let's say, a session like this, you say that people stay in all parts of the city, so everybody cannot come to Aarti Nagar or whatever it is. So come, let's have an online program for an hour. So you participate in this 1 hour program, and then again you go back to your daily activities. But with children, it's not the same. Children are getting more and more and more. Just before starting this, I was talking to a parent who says that my child is attending online tuition for JEE. But she says that what I suspect is that he's sitting in front of the laptop and under the table he's got his phone. So while it looks like he's, watching this thing, he's also playing a game along with this. This is what is happening to children. And we try to propagate as far as possible. If you want your child to really learn emotions, express emotions, one thing that you need to do is to keep the child away from screens. I would also say the same for children who are non-verbal, either because they are under the spectrum or because they are very shy, they hardly open out and talk. Even such children, just encourage them to express emotions. Are you disappointed? Are you feeling upset? Are you angry? Make the child at least nod his head and express whatever the thing is. We have been propagating this right from the time the COVID struck. And when everybody moved on to their screens, we have been telling, we have even brought out a book containing about 200 activities which can be done without the use of any screen. And next month, do you remember the date? We are also doing a half-day workshop on activities that you can encourage children to do without the use of screen. And you know something? When we announced this, we got so many inquiries saying that, yes, I would like to attend that, but I can't come all the way. Can you have that program online? One day for 2.5 hours, we are having a workshop. Because when you come there, we are going to demonstrate, like how the simple game Kanaka did, what we are going to show is, okay, take a piece of paper, fold it in this and throw it and see what happens. And that leads to a discussion. Now, if I were to fold that paper and throw it in front of my laptop screen, will you really get the feel of it? No. When you're sitting there, we'll give each one a sheet of paper and we'll say, fold it now and experience it and experience what happens to the others and then have a debate on it. So these are the things by which we can improve that emotional connect. Yes, Preeti says, how can we as parents balance discipline while still maintaining a strong emotional connect? I told you it starts with punish the act and not the check, including if there is a repetition of certain things which need to be disciplined, tell them in advance. We do firefighting. When the child does something bad, that is the time when we try to discipline. When the child is in a good mood, the child is not doing anything bad, anything to be punished or disciplined, sit down with the child and say, in case you do this. I gave you the example. If there are electrical wires and switches and plugs over there, and you are not supposed to go there. When you're giving this instruction, say, if you do it, what punishment would you like to have? Let's say if the child comes out with some punishment. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If he does, then he's conscious of it that I have asked for this punishment, so I will definitely get it. If he says, okay, I won't do it, so where's the question of punishment? Okay, since you said you will not do it, let us just, theoretically at least put down that in case you forget and you do it, this will be the punishment. and the punishment should always be constructive. Very simple method is describe the act of the child, tell what the impact of it is. The action was you were told not to go near those electrical gadgets and wires, you went there. What is the action? It can give a very bad shock. Electricity is a very dangerous thing. It can cause a short circuit to the whole house, or it can, have a very bad impact on the person. Thirdly, your emotions. I felt very disappointed. Since I had already told you 3 times not to do it, you still did it. And fourthly, most important, alternatives. I know you like to explore things. I know you're getting restless sitting in one room and not doing anything. So instead of going near those electric wires, shall we go into the balcony where there are some nice pots and this and that? Can we do something with those plants? Or can we, make a house out of cardboard or something like that? So this is the way you balance out. You maintain that emotional connect, and at every stage, keep asking the child, "How do you feel?" That is very important. Okay. Chitra says our children's behavioral issues sometimes a result of unmet emotional needs, very often, not just sometimes. And how does a strong emotional bond with support their confidence and brain development and resilience long term? That is what I told you in the beginning about emotional intelligence. Behavioral scientists are telling us that this generation of children, 80 to 90% of their well-being, development, achievement, satisfaction in life will depend on their emotional intelligence and not on their IQ. A child with very high IQ can lead a miserable life. A child with an average or even below average IQ, if he has got a good EQ, that is, he learns how to identify his emotions. Then he learns how to manage his emotions. Then he learns what motivates him and what demotivates him. Moving on to empathy, understanding why daddy scolds me, understanding why mommy said that I cannot give you food right now, you will have to wait for 1 hour, understanding why mommy said that no, I have to feed the baby before giving food to you. That is empathy. And these four lead to the fifth one, which is social skills, including children who are non-verbal, who are very shy, very withdrawn. Even those children can be taught social skills in a different manner. They can express themselves in different ways. Keep looking for ways and means by which a child can develop that social skills. I have seen children, for example, communicating with pets. There's a little puppy dog, and this child who is so reserved, so shy, or maybe even under the spectrum or whatever it is, but he goes to a little puppy, and you see how the way he communicates and the way he behaves with that child. So these are, this thing. Nisha says, how can parents balance discipline with emotional warmth, ensure their child feels truly heard, and recognize early signs of emotional disconnect, especially during the teenage years? It is a very clear understanding that small children are like puppy dogs. They come wagging their tail, regardless of what you do. You give a whack to that puppy, it will scream and squeal, and 2 minutes later, he'll be back, wagging his tail. When a child comes to adolescence, he converts from a puppy dog to a cat. The cat says, "You have to feed me. I am the king of this house. I am not going to come. I'm not going to wag my tail. I'm not going to oblige you. You better oblige me. You have brought me into this house. It's your duty." This is the thinking that adolescents develop, and there's nothing wrong with it. They will learn over a period of time. Be a little more tolerant when there is an adolescent, particularly the so-called behavior issues of adolescents. Sometimes we overreact. Suddenly, a child has come to adolescence and he starts using some bad words. Why do we need to overreact on that? We don't need to do that. So these are the ways and means. A lot of things, as we have told you earlier also, I repeat again, we do free counseling for anybody, anytime. You can come to us if you feel like it. But we are in RT Nagar. If that's not convenient to you, you can call us on the phone Monday to Saturday, or you can send us an email. We reply to all the emails that come to us. Get onto our website. There's a My Counselor button over there. Just write down. You don't even have to tell your identity. You just say that I'm a parent or I'm a teacher or whatever it is, and I want some clarification on these. That's what we need to do. And yes, Kanaka has just put up the poster of this thing which I was telling you about this fun come learning activities which you can work with children, and every activity is away from the screen. So it's a half a day workshop. If you're free, do come over and attend that. Or if anybody else you know who would be interested, pass the message on to them. And with that, it is sharp 6 o'clock. We start on time and we end on time.
Yes. There's another one. One more question is there in the chat box.
Yes.
Can I? Yes. So Satya ma'am is asking, how do we identify that we need to opt for professional help related to communication issues in a family with a neurotypical adolescent child?
Correct. You don't need to. When do you identify that you need to take the child to the doctor, or just give grandma's remedy and he will get okay by tomorrow morning? It is instinctive. When you realize that issues are getting a little out of control, or if you're confused, I am doing things myself, but am I really doing the right way? No harm in talking to somebody and saying, this is how I am treating this child. He's a neurotypical child, and this is what is happening with communication issues. This is how I'm dealing with it. I just want a validation or a reinforcement, or maybe some options that can I do it in a better way. That's all there is to it. Don't bifurcate professionals and parents. Parents are very often much better than professionals. That much I can tell you. Right? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
such
you.
powerful and heartfelt insight. Your word has really reminded us that emotional presence is the greatest gift we can give to our children.
That's right. Yes.
So I have concluded in my words as a takeaway that connection creates confidence, listening builds love, and presence creates security.
Very true. Absolutely.
So with this note, I would like to thank you, sir, and
Thank you.
I extend my gratitude to it, and each one of you to join us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Yeah, have a great evening, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all the participants for joining us.
Thank you.